Every time I look around, I see our country falling more and more into turmoil. Uh, it seems like we're all in a state of disarray. People don't respect each other anymore. There's no more love or loyalty or togetherness. The very tenets that built this country, they don't even seem to exist anymore. It seems as if we've all went out and lost our damn minds. The crime, the violence, the outright disrespect, the racism, everything that we see going on in the news that a lot of us choose to ignore, it's just coming to a boiling point. And it's like anything else, there's only so much tension something can hold before it bursts and spills over. And I'm wondering if we're not reaching that point here in this country. I don't care which side of the aisle you stand on, Republican or Democrat. They're both wings on the same bird. They're both wings, a part of the government. My own opinion, after being on this world, on this earth 50 plus years, none of them really give a damn about any of us. They have their own best interests in mind. Whoever can pad their pockets the most, that's their best interest. The common working man, the cogs of the wheel, the ones who make the system go round, we're just tools. We're just a vote, a means to an end. And what they do is they set this side against that side and keep us fighting each other while they do whatever they're going to do off in the shadows and we don't pay any attention to it. I just want everybody to know we're not the enemies. We as regular people are not enemies. The enemies of us are the politicians, the ones who are constantly raising taxes, the ones who are making bills and laws and legislations that don't serve us. That's who we ought to be taking a look at. But aside from them, we need to probably step back and take a hard look at ourselves also, because we're not behaving very much like civilized people should behave. I see the lack of respect that's become normalized in this country, and I can't believe it. That there was a time, and some of you of a certain age are going to remember this, when people actually spoke to each other, complete strangers. They would walk down the street and speak to each other, and they would acknowledge after you'd spoken to them. People actually held doors for each other. You don't see that very much anymore. I think society, and especially us here in America, because we've grown so accustomed to abundance that we think that we should just be entitled, that's a good word, to that. And that's not reality, people. The very things that helped us build this great country, we're going to end up losing those. I believe that we've already lost our standing in the world as the protector, the wise, older, maybe disciplinarian. I believe we've lost that role. I think another country or other countries have already taken that role, and we gave it up willingly. We really did. We were so worried about our own personal interests that we never once stopped to think about what's best for the country. And that kind of thinking will always end up in failure. But I just got a lot of things going on in my mind. I don't like the direction the country's headed in. I don't like the way that we treat each other. I don't like the way that we treat other people. I think about all the taxes we pay. We pay taxes on everything. Income tax, savings tax, death tax, import tax, taxes on everything. And then I have to stop and ask myself, Where's all this tax money going? Because every day I go out here and get in my truck and I ride down the street and I hit a huge pothole, or I go over a bridge that looks like it's been around for 100 years, or I get out on the highway and the roads aren't looking right. Where's all this money going? It's definitely not going into infrastructure. The airports will show you that if you do any traveling. So where's all this money going? That's a big concern of mine. Another big concern of mine are politicians who don't serve our needs, who don't do what we need them to do. They say they will until they get elected and get in office. And then once they're in office, you can't even get in touch with them. But they damn sure aren't doing what we put them in office to do for us. That bothers me. There's just a lot wrong. And I know some things are due to progress. I accept that. But not all progress is good. Some things were fine just like they were. We didn't need to change them. I think about education. The schools, for the most part, especially public schools, they're horrible. They're awful, atrocious. And then you wonder why the end result, the product of those schools, end up like they do. They don't know anything. They weren't taught anything. You can't blame a child who was reared wrong. You just can't. You have to blame the people who reared it, the parents, the teachers, the system. You can't even blame the teachers. They're just doing a job, a thankless job. But there's so much we really need to take a look at in this country besides infighting with each other. That if we really looked inward, took the time to get together and come up with some real hard solutions, we could solve a lot of problems in this country. Look at the homeless problem, the veterans, There's a lot of problems in this country that merit our attention. But for whatever reason, we're just ignoring them. And it bugs me. It bugs the shit out of me. It does. I love America. I love my country. Proud to be from America. I'm proud to be American. But sometimes I look at the way we act and it just makes me wonder. We are so entitled and we don't even realize it. All you have to do is travel abroad and watch it how Americans act and how other foreigners look at how we act. I don't know. Don't want to get into another war. I think we're about to get into another war. Don't want to see a bunch of young guys go and die in some foreign country for nothing. Some politicians' aspirations, but I guess that's what they signed up for. But still, I don't want to see it. I admire the soldiers, the warriors, the guys who go and do what they're asked to do, put their life on the line, just like I admire policemen. But it doesn't mean I want to see them have to do it. The economy worries me. I wonder if we'll all have enough to retire on. That goal that we had 10, 15 years ago, it may not be enough now. The way prices are rising. It seems like we're in a state of decline here in this country. And I hate to say that. A lot of people don't want to deal with that realistically, but that's what it seems like to me. It seems like that one, shining light, a bastion on the hill. Are we that anymore? Are we really? Could we be? Oh, of course. But it would require that we all work together to clean up the mess that I won't say we made, but we've helped make it of this country. I mean, jobs. I mean, I have buddies. Well, I'll speak on one particular friend of mine who owned a small trucking company. And he just sold his last truck a few weeks back. This was a man who had 20 semi-trucks at one time. Great, doing great. And because of the economy and things that went on, this man is out of business now. Fortunately, though, he made enough while he was in business that I'm sure he'll be fine for the rest of his life, but that's not the point. The point is he worked hard in many years to build up a business, and because of no fault of his own, but I guess shit happens. I guess it does. What do you guys think? I'm sitting here venting like hell. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on what's going on in our country and in our world and what we can do to turn it back around and make things better? And please don't send me shit about going back in time, because we're not going back in time. There's no such thing. There's no time machine. There's no time warp. There's no black hole. Time moves forward. It doesn't go backwards. So going back, it's a fantasy. It's not going to happen. We have to deal with what's going on now and how we can move forward from here and deal with these problems that we're seeing. I know we can do it. I mean, we've overcome worse situations than this, I believe. We're really resilient. I know Americans are very resilient. And I don't know. I just felt like ranting today. I really did. A lot of shit bugs me. I don't like that. I don't say too much about it, but it does. I just want to know that there's going to be a country left for our children. And what are we leaving them behind? That bugs me when I think about my kids and how the world is changing. What in the hell are we leaving them? What are we leaving them in? I mean, gun violence. My God, how are all these damn guns getting on the streets? Every time I turn around, there's another shooting. And here where I live in Indy, there's fucking 2-3 shootings a night. Why? Drugs. Drugs have absolutely ravished this country. And the problem is supply and demand. If there was no demand for them, there would be no supply. So are we really having that many problems in our life that people want to escape their reality that badly? I guess so. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? The drug problem, and what can we do to try to solve it? And I don't think we'll ever solve it. I think drugs have always been around, but what we can do to try to slow it down, you know? Another thing that bugs the shit out of me is how cops get treated, you know? True. You know, let me say this too. Excuse me. I know there are bad cops. There are a lot of bad cops. But there are a hell of a lot more good cops. I can honestly say in my lifetime, truly bad cops, just truly bad, evil, I've probably seen 3, other than the ones on TV, you know. But it's become a thing now. There's this adversarial relationship with the police, and I just don't understand it. They're there to do a job. Do your job. Go home. And then for us as citizens, obey the law. It's real fucking easy, you know? But I don't know. Guess I'm just an old man living in a world that I don't really understand anymore. I can't be the only one like this. There's got to be a lot of you guys out there feeling what in the hell's going on and what's happened to America. And if you have any thoughts or feelings like that, please drop them down in the comments. Let's talk about them. Shit. We don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but we've got to open the dialogue up. We've got to open up a forum. We've got to start to come up with some actionable solutions to these problems. But at any rate, hey, I'm Unc. Take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you guys in the next Unc's Rant. I'm sure next week it'll be something else. It's bugging the shit out of me. You guys take care of yourselves.